Hey! So, a while ago, I posted a video talking about my favorite OC story, which is named Vienna. It's a crossover of magical girls and vampires, and it centers around 4 best friends that completely destroy each other over their differences. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I suggest watching this video, because this is where I talk about them for the very first time. But I also want to say, thank you so much for all the love on this video. Like, I posted it not thinking much of it, and the fact that so many people liked it, and the fact that people were like commenting their favorite character, oh, that is so sweet. Thank you, just thank you. And since I had a few people asking for another video, and because I love these OCs and I can't stop thinking about them, I wanted to make a second video introducing some side characters in this story. So let's jump right into it. The first character I wanted to redesign was Juno, and if you've been on my channel before, you have probably heard of that name before. It might ring some bells to you. And this is because I have been drawing her for ages, yet I can never, ever figure out a design for her. You see, Juno was a design that was given to me, and this is what she looks like, and I love her so much, and I decided that she's like this loud party girl, and she's so lovely, and she is friends with Ivy, and they were in the party together when the vampires attacked, right? But I wanted to give her more character than that. I felt like other than the fact that she was Ivy's friend, she didn't have any impact to the plot. So I had to change some things around. In later parts of the story of Vienna, I expect there to be a new and upcoming mayor that comes into the town and is trying to fix everything. And by fix, I mean renovate the town so much that it doesn't even look like Vienna, and also upcharge everything in order to make it a tourist town. But since I know that the mayor is going to be an older character, I wanted there to be a character that can connect the main 4 to him. And that's where Juno comes in. Juno is the daughter of this mayor, and she is also on the vigilante team. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the vigilante team, which I don't have a name for right now, is basically this team of non-magical characters who come together and use practical items like garlic and holy water and fire in order to get rid of the vampires. So now Juno has 2 different identities. She is the mayor's daughter, so she is expected to be proper and polite. But also, she loves going to parties. She loves drinking. She loves doing things that her father wouldn't approve of. And also, she is a vampire slayer. So how can I encapsulate all of that into one design? But it wasn't just this that I had a problem with. You see, usually when I create characters, I rely a lot on the colors and making the colors very high contrast in order to make the design interesting. I can't really do that with Juno because her skin color and her hair color are going to be very similar in value. So I had to rely on her face being different, her outfit being different. I had to rely on the bold shapes, and I was having a really hard time doing that. Which brings me to today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for literally anything creative you can think of. Drawing, writing, video editing, embroidery. If you can create it, someone on Skillshare is probably already teaching it. Every class is taught by amazing world-class creatives. I'm talking professional illustrators, graphic designers, entrepreneurs. And despite this, every teacher breaks their topics down into bite-sized lessons that are very easy to follow. Recently, I have been really loving the class Concept Art Character Design by Hardy Fowler. This class has videos for designated parts of the body, like hair and faces, which are both sections that I studied relentlessly. So much so that it even inspired me to take out my sketchbook and make notes about the class. I haven't done that since high school. So the fact that I was willing to pull out my sketchbook and make very quick headshots alongside the teacher, that is huge. That is very important to me. And I know that you can have a similar experience as well if you join Skillshare using the link down below in the description. Or if you prefer, you can scan the QR code on the screen now. The first 500 people to join using the QR code or the link in the description will receive 1 free month of Skillshare, plus 20% off of your first payment. Thank you so much, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video. I fear I am obsessed with this redesign. I thought that maybe instead of giving her like the typical pencil skirt with like the white t-shirt combo, I could give her a very big blazer. I kind of want to make it so that she is swimming in her blazer, like she is swimming in the responsibility of being the mayor's daughter. I also just really like the idea that she has this really big blazer and she looks all like cutesy and she looks all professional, and then she just takes off the blazer and it's just like this cute little party outfit. I don't know. I thought that was cute. And to answer the question that I proposed earlier, how am I going to make one character design that represents all 3 parts of her story? And the answer is, I can't. Maybe it doesn't make much sense if she wears a blazer to the club. Maybe it doesn't make much sense if she has this type of heel on when she's slaying vampires. So I came to a decision. Even though it'll take a lot of time, I really want to have each character have their own wardrobe. So they'll mostly have different outfits that they switch through that have the same color scheme in order to make it still feel like that same character. But yeah, I really like the way her design looks. The purple and the blonde, I think that might be one of my new favorite color combos. I don't know. I think she looks super cute. The next character doesn't exactly have a name that's set in stone yet, so for now, we're just gonna call her Tracy. Tracy was one of the first characters that I initially thought about. I haven't talked about this before, but originally, when I was brainstorming Vienna, it was going to be about a doctor, specifically a doctor who draws blood. I'm blinking on the name at the moment, but you know what I mean. I think it might be oncologist. I could be wrong. Falling in love with a vampire, and it was going to be kind of like a B-star story where there's like a underground market where vampires meet and blood is sold, and there were going to be vampires and werewolves and zombies and other things, but I just wasn't in love with it. But I did fall in love with this concept of a character who is a nurse, and she's like kind of edgy and has darker hair, and she's alternative, and she's also very blunt, and she isn't what you think of when you think of a nurse. I always like the idea that people assume that she was a mortician because of the way she looks, but she isn't. And in this version of Vienna, she is actually an EMT. But other than that, her concept is mostly the same. I imagine that she is very blunt, she is almost monotone, she can be harsh and mean sometimes. I'm thinking like a character like Mira from K-pop Demon Hunters, but just a little bit meaner. I imagine that she is very burnt out from her job, and at times she can come off as uncaring. And maybe she even sees other people as foolish, especially those who are affected by the vampiric disease running around in Vienna. She assumes that this should have been entirely avoidable. You know, even though I already knew what I wanted this character to look like, I had a really hard time drawing her. I knew the basis. I knew that I wanted her to have scrubs. I knew that I wanted her to have like this tealer color in her color palette. I knew that I wanted her to be alternative with very short micro bangs. So why does this look so incomplete? Question mark. I think it might not. I think it's mostly the shape language, but not only that, I think the design needs a lot more texture. In the character design course that was led by Hardy Fowler, he mentioned a design concept called big, medium, small. And this basically means that each design should have big shapes, medium shapes, and then small shapes within those medium shapes. It's a way to balance the design, and while this design has big shapes and medium shapes, I don't think that they have small shapes. So I'm going to work on that in the next designs. You ever get so like excited about something that you can't even talk about it? Like, I love this drawing so much, but if you ask me to explain it, I don't know. It's just vibes. I don't know what to tell you. This image is entirely based on not that. This image is entirely based on this one specific keyframe in a Cookie Run animatic made by Jinjin Ninja OWO. this one specifically, I thought this pose was so interesting and I loved the expressions, and I was just like, ha, now what if I draw this, but with my characters inside of it instead? So that's what I did. It kind of works out though, because these two characters are the weakest of the main 4 girls. The one in the front is Eimi, who is the resident vampire of the group, and then the one behind her is Ivy, who is the vampire slayer of the group. I can't get their designs down to save my life. I just can't. For Ivy, I have a specific energy that I want to go for her, but I can't find anything concrete. Like when I draw each design that I've drawn of Ivy, it just doesn't feel quite right. And the same thing can be said about Eimi. So for this drawing, I wanted to focus on their expressions. Specifically, I want to make sure that each character has a different face. Like, I'm not entirely sure what to call it, but their eye shapes, I want them to be different. My goal for this project is that I want every single character to be identifiable if they were drawn in black and white and bald. I want each character to have a different eyebrow shape, to have a different eye shape, to have a different body shape. I want it to be crystal clear on what character is what, especially because I want their outfits to change, and maybe their hairstyle will change once in a while. So I need their faces to be different. I don't think I achieved that in this drawing. I do think that these characters still look a bit too similar, but I think it is a step in the right direction. But besides that, I am immensely proud of this drawing simply because this is kind of where I want my art style to go. For a very long time, I wasn't completely satisfied with my art style because I always put myself in a box. I'm going to have a hard time explaining this, so I'm gonna hold your hand and I'm gonna ask you to please be patient with me. Smiles at you with my big, beautiful brown eyes. I always felt like if I were to draw in a certain style, I would have to fully commit to that style and not depart from it at all. Like, if I wanted my art to be very anime inspired, I had to draw the big eyes with the no lips, with the small little dot nose, and just everything that would come with that. And now that I'm older and wiser, I realize that is so silly and I don't have to do that and I could just do whatever I want. Ah! What? The scandal! I know! So now I'm kind of just doing whatever I want. Like, the eyes are very inspired by early 90s anime. The smiles are inspired by very very Cartoon Network smiles, I guess you could say. I really like adding wrinkles in clothing and in the face. And I realized that I can just make the line art whatever color I want. I for a while I was like, oh, it has to be all black or it has to be all navy blue. No, it doesn't have to be. I'm gonna make my line art black and navy blue and pink, and no one can stop me. Oh wow, it's that time of the video again. You know, the end. What do you guys think? Do you like these designs? I personally am very iffy about them, so if you have any opinions as to what I should do or what I should change, please let me know down below, because I would love any thoughts and any critiques on these designs in order to make them better. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring this video, and thank you for staying to the end. I'm pretty tired, so I think that's all I have to say for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you eat well, stay hydrated, and have a wonderful day. Bye!